coffee, a little bit of water. I think I'm good. Pretty sure I did it right this time. That does not feel right. Way quieter. Okay, so just I want to talk for a few minutes. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. And I'm laying in bed, so who cares? Nobody cares what I do anyway. I wish somebody did. It'd be nice if somebody cared. I just have this overwhelming feeling that nobody cares about me or about what I'm doing, about the work I believe I've been given to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm all wet. Maybe I'm all deluded. I don't know. I don't think so. I've had 1,000 confirmations, 1,000 miraculous things happen, thousands of miraculous things happen, timing and messages and things people said to me out of the blue at a certain time, a certain place to confirm that affirm that I was doing the right thing. Maybe that's all just, I don't know. Feels pretty hopeless right now. I felt that way before, I know, and I've always determined that I would keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. Be John Plowman, John Plowman's talks. Be that plowboy that puts his hand to the plow and turn back. But I'm to the point right now where I don't feel like my life is safe much longer. Going into the heat of summer, my health is not good. I'm not in good health. I'll just tell you that right now. If anybody would like to help, that would be nice. If anybody out there would like to help in some way, encouragement, prayer, donation here and there would be nice. There's people out there that have millions of dollars and are unwilling to help other people, and that's sad. It's sad for them, but it's also sad for the people they refuse to help. One of the very dear sisters that I've been in touch with for a couple of years now, Jack, I've talked about her often before. I have not heard from her for like 2, 3, 4 weeks. Nobody would go help her. I don't know. Just very sad, very crazy, very stupid. So anyway, we are faced with demonic and deep spiritual activity. The deeper world, the demons, Daimones, daimons. I'm not going to say it because it sounds like diamond, so I'm not going to say it that way. I'm going to say demons. The demons in this book are real. They're real in your life, they're real in my life, and they're evil. My son-in-law came by today with 2 of my grandsons. How many grandsons do I have? I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 anyway. Maybe 8. I'm tired right now. I'm not going to count them up. Anyway, so 2 of my grandsons today. That was really cool. Very good seeing Peter and Daniel and Jeff, my son-in-law. He's been good to me as all of my kids. Bringing children by to see me. It's been the highlight of my exile. Put outside the camp. Yeah, I was put outside the camp by my family. It's where Christ was crucified. Outside the camp where you put the lepers and the criminals. That's where I am. I'd like to get back inside the camp anyway. It's been a Shemitah. It's been 7 years. so maybe that'll happen. All right, and on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th of this coming month, June, and that includes the 18th, which is the would have been the 45th wedding anniversary, and we took a vow specifically worded, until God by death shall separate us. So be true to you, but till God by death shall separate us. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still holding true to that. But that was cast aside by someone who broke that vow. I know a woman who was beaten by her husband about 30 times, beaten bloody black and blue. She refused to divorce him. I know another husband whose wife committed adultery on his own property with his best friend 30 times or better. They're still married. He forgave her. Go figure. All right. Susan Kramer was working in the garage that morning when John walked in. The big garage door was open, but neither child noticed Barry Smith ride up and hide behind a tree down the block. I'm going to the toy store, John said to Susan. She was leaning over the lawnmower, checking the oil. Susan got an oil can from... I think I've read this already. I know I read it to myself. I gotta stop doing that. I read ahead and then I don't remember if I read it or not. Doggone it. I don't want to read it again if I already read it. I have to go check it. I have to get off of here to find out. Or I could do it on my tablet. Hang on. I'll just keep talking, blathering. Some of you out there, you know me through YouTube. That's about it. Some people we met in person. I'd really appreciate some kind of encouragement. Seriously, encouragement. Because I'm not very encouraged right now. Kind of depressed, bummed out. And I'm determined I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to keep doing what I've been doing. I'm not going to quit. Like I said, I put my hand to the plow. I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm not going to keep doing it the way I've been doing it. Letting people come here and take advantage of me and treat me like dog excrement and stab me in the back and throw me under the bus. Not going to happen anymore. So, okay. Okay, where are we at here? Library. Come on. Library. Your videos. I checked it once, so I'm going to double check. Upload failed. What are you talking about? Toy campaign. Oh. I copy and pasted it, right. Hey guys. Took 5 minutes before it. Evening, YouTubers. Very done with how to get out of Babylon. Reading. By the time you got to Main Street, pushing the bike with flat tires was hard work. He felt like he was pushing at 5 down twice, so we're on chapter 7. Bicycle. Chapter 7, I thought so. Finley's filling station and garage. But as soon as he turned his handlebars, the wheels locked. Very pushed with the... Seven. 7. Okay. Chapter 7. So, I talked with a friend recently here, this evening, and he gave me kind of an update, a report on the Preparedness Expo. There's a Preparedness Expo in Missouri. Probably, I don't guess, whatever, 1,000 people there. Good people from all over the state and Arkansas and, people from all over the country, actually. There's a couple there from New Jersey that had lived in Aspen, Colorado. and they're looking to buy, like a 2 or 3 thousand acre chunk of land and do a community, intentional community, kind of similar to what they're doing in Arkansas with the what do you call it, the Brookhaven situation, which is, we got to have a video on that sometime here. But before I just picked a tick off my leg that was burrowed, dug in. That's why you don't want to wear too many clothes, so you can get to the ticks, feel them, and feel them, be able to feel them, be able to see them, and be able to pick them off before they get embedded too deep. Pick the one up and just crush it between the little one, so it crush it between my fingernails. Okay, so anyway, so there's a preparedness expo about 2 hours from where I live right here. And I was looking forward to going and bringing product. The product didn't show up, so I was not too worried about that. It's money I don't have to spend, put out. Of course, it's a lot of blessing that I'm not going to be able to give to people, help people with their engines, fuel, transmission, and engine additive, subsurface metallic lubricant. I'm not going to talk about that again. Okay, forget it. So I didn't going to have a product to bring, but I did want to speak there, and it would have been great to be able to speak there. But I didn't get a ride there. I didn't have any offers of rides, nothing. Was not able to go. Somebody that lives here on this property, who came here because of my help, visited twice, came out and moved here, would not bring me to the preparedness expo. Could have dropped me off on his way to look at land and come back. Would not do that. Never told me he was getting ready to go. He was going to look at land. Okay, yippee-ki-yay. Muffo. But, didn't tell me he was packing for 3 days to go on this trip. I could have thrown a tent in and been dropped off, and could have gotten a ride from anywhere. I could have had, hey, drop me off in whatever town you're going through. I would have gotten a ride there. I could have called up and gotten a ride there from people. So it would have happened. So very sad and depressing. Not really. I mean, I really wanted to go. I should have been there. It was sad, stupid that I wasn't there. But, I would have met a lot of good people. It would have been an awesome time. I know it would have been a phenomenal time, but so I'm going to have my own little meetup next month. Stockton Lake, 2-bedroom house. Going to rent that and have a meetup of sorts there. I just heard tonight from this friend that there is a group of people on the north edge of Stockton Lake, a little group of people that were at the expo. So I'm hoping to get together with them before my meetup. He gave them my information. So people are very picky about, don't give my name out, don't give my information out, my contact info, my phone number, my email, unless you have my permission. Not so with me. Give my name and phone number out and information out to anybody, except for people that are low-life scumbag, dishonorable people like this guy that I have here now. Damn. He said, yeah, you talked me into coming back. I'm like, I did? Damn, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Son of a bitch. I wish I hadn't done that. Anyway. All right, enough bitching, pissing, moaning, and whining, and that's what I'm doing. I'm being honest. Somebody here said that I helped, babysat, held her hand, midwifed her, coached her, whatever. 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever time she called, I answered the phone. Said that everybody knows Jerry's a liar. Well, this man that I talked to tonight knows I'm not a liar. There's a little 8-year-old girl here that knows I'm not a liar. And Timothy that's here knows I'm not a liar. So this guy said, I watched all your videos. I know you're not a liar. So when somebody says that I'm a liar, they are lying, because there's 3 people here that know. So they said everybody knows Jerry is a liar. Well, everybody does not know Jerry's a liar. That means that statement is a lie from hell. A lie of hatred. I'm sick and tired of hatred. I can feel it. I feel like I can say, hey, can I cut you a little slice of hatred with a knife? It's so palpable. I can feel it. I'm tired of it. It's getting to me. I do not need stress, and I'm getting way too much stress. I need to calm down, and I'm trying to drink hydrated water to get my blood pressure back down. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I'm having issues, I think. I know I'm having issues. I don't want to have another incident that would require medical intervention, let me put it that way. So pray for me, please. I need it badly. Okay, A Mountain of Toys, Chapter 7, Magic Bicycle. The Spirit Flyer series, first book was Magic Bicycle. This one is called The Toy Campaign. Get it down. Okay, there it is. A toy campaign. Okay. A mountain of toys. Susan barely had time to catch her breath before she popped back into the normal sky. Did this teleporting, whatever, made the jump to light speed, the whirring sound of poof, poof, pop, come back into normal sky, like you see in Star Trek or Star Wars, making the jump to light speed. Everything was fluffy white below her feet. The humming noise had stopped. The wheels of the old red bicycle were just skimming above the tops of the clouds. The fear Susan had felt in the alley had changed to excitement as the bike glided silently through the crisp air. Things had happened so quickly that she didn't realize where she was until the old red bike drove down through the misty clouds. When she broke through, she was high above the Centerville dump. The mounds of garbage looked small and tiny. Then she saw John. He was sitting on the ground in the freshly dug pit the two children had been in the day before. The Spirit Flyer glided quickly down toward the dump. Susan held on, letting the old red bicycle go where it willed. As she flew over the mounds of garbage, the awful smells drifted upward. The bike carried her over to the large pit and came to a gentle halt by John. But instead of landing, the bicycle hovered in the air, the big balloon tires 3 inches above the ground. Since the bicycle hadn't landed, Susan figured she shouldn't get off. Wise thought, right? Good thinking. John was still sitting down. He looked at Susan, then looked down at his open hands, which were filled with the fine gray powder of crumbled ashes. He slapped his hands together, and the sooty powder filled the air. His face seemed disturbed as he stared at the black clouds around him. "They were all right here," John mumbled. "I had them." "What happened?" Susan asked. As soon as she spoke, she remembered her resolve that she wasn't going to speak to John. But since the words were already out of her mouth, Susan felt some of her anger melt away. She also figured that since the Spirit Flyer had carried her to John, it didn't make any sense not to talk to him. Besides, he looked so confused she felt sorry for him. The boy grabbed the old red bike to steady himself as he struggled to his feet. "I went through that black window again," John said. "I tried to stop you," Susan said, "but I was too late." After a moment of silence, they heard a sound in the distance. "Sounds like a fire truck is coming." "Like a truck is coming," John said. "We better hide." John began sprinting for the far end of the pit. Susan turned the bike in midair and pedaled after him. John darted behind a pile of garbage and peeked out toward the entrance of the dump. Susan glided up behind him. She put her foot on the brake, and the old red bicycle slowly dropped down until both wheels rested on the ground, on the garbage-covered ground. "Why are we hiding?" Susan asked. "Shh," John said. He pointed toward the entrance to the dump. A big tractor-trailer truck pulled in, with a hiss of brakes and a grinding of gears. I assume that's gears. The big truck backed up to the freshly dug pit. While the motor ran, the two men in gray uniforms got out and walked to the back of the truck. The men opened the big doors. One man pulled down the ramp while the other man jumped inside. He loaded a box on the handcart and rolled it down the dump ramp. He dumped the box on the dirt almost exactly where John had been sitting, then pulled the cart back up the ramp. The other man had loaded up a box by then and did the same as the first man. "That's the truck that was at the toy store," John whispered. "But why are they here?" Susan asked. "Phew, it really stinks in this place. Maybe they have some trash to dump before they deliver those old toys." The two children watched quietly as the men unloaded box after box. The ground was soon covered with boxes. "That's a lot of trash," John said as yet another box came down the ramp. Susan frowned as she watched. "I think they're dumping the whole load," she said. "But they have toys in there. Why would they dump out good toys?" John asked. The men worked even faster. One of them pulled up the ramp, and they began just throwing the boxes off the back of the trailer. Within minutes, the whole truck was empty, and a small mountain of boxes lay in the pit. The last box hit with a crunch and burst open part way. Something in bright colors spilled out, but it fell behind the other boxes before John or Susan could see what it was. Then the men rolled a black 10-speed to the rear of the truck. With one big push, it sailed out and crashed on top of the boxes. "I told you, Susan, she's thrown away all the toys." "It must be trash," John said, "but that bike looks new to me." The two men closed the big doors on the back of the trailer. They were talking, but the two children couldn't hear what they were saying. The men walked to the front of the truck and got inside, slamming the door shut. Then the truck moved forward slowly, heading out to the old dump road. When the sound of the truck died away, John stood up straight. "I'm going down there." "Did you hear a horn?" Susan asked, cocking her head. "No," John said, stopping. "Listen, let's go down there and open those boxes, right?" I heard it again. It sounds like that one I heard it the other day behind the toy store, and twice this morning. But who would be blowing a horn out here? Maybe it's a car on Crops Road or something on a farm around here. Someone on a farm around here. It doesn't sound like that, Susan said. It almost sounds like it's inside my head. Great, John replied. You can stay and listen to horns in your head. I'm going exploring. John picked his way over to the trash until he got to level ground. I don't think you should, Susan called after him, but it was too late. John was already running toward the pit of freshly dumped boxes. High up above, Nail the crow, which had been circling in the air, swooped down like a bullet when it saw the boy running toward the pit. The crow settled on an old black tire and watched as the boy picked his way through the boxes. Mrs. Happy had given the bird strict instructions to keep an eye on both children, especially Susan. John, come back, Susan called. The boy stopped and turned. He waved to his cousin. Come on, John yelled. It's okay, no one's here. Susan pushed her spirit flyer out into the open. She began to pedal and aimed to the old red bicycle for the sky. When both tires were 3 feet off the ground, she skimmed over the heaps of garbage and junk. John had just reached the bare dirt pit when Susan braked beside him. She took her foot off the brake, and the old red bike hung in the air, 2 feet off the ground. Come help me look, John said. He ran over and pulled the black bicycle away from the boxes. The bike was a Goliath Cobra Deluxe. The thin tires were tight and full of air. This bike is like new. I have a bad feeling about this, just like I do about Mrs. Happy, Susan said. She watched John set the bicycle carefully on the ground. The bike did appear to be in excellent condition. I thought it was up higher. Phone was tilted more. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's better. I just can't believe it, John said, staring at the bike. I think we should leave. It smells terrible out here. Like somebody dumped a dead animal or something. The whole place is creepy. What's a little stink when treasure's to be found, John said with glee. He ran to the first cardboard box and kicked it. He yelled when the box barely budged. He hopped on one foot, holding his other foot with both hands. That felt like bricks, John said, he tried walking on his sore foot and limped around in a circle. Let's just leave. The smell is making my head hurt. Leave then, John said, or go wait by the gate. I aim to find out what's in these boxes. John limped over to the box that he had kicked. It's taped shut, but never fear, I have my pocket knife. He flipped open the short blade and slit the tape on the box. When he pulled it open, the flaps, he paused. I don't believe it, he said. There's baseball gloves. It's full of them. I cut the leather on the thumb of the catcher's mitt, but the rest are all okay. He pulled the flap back so Susan could see. John ran to the next box. He slit the tape so fast he nicked his finger. Look, he cried with greed. Dolls and junk. It's all new. I don't believe it. This must be it. These are my toys. I knew they would be here. There's something wrong about this, John, Susan said. Just then she heard the sound of the blowing horn again. She listened carefully, then looked at her spirit flyer. Go away then if you're scared, John said nastily, but I'm the rich one. I get all the loot. Finders keepers. That's it, Susan said. That's why the horn was blowing. The horn is warning me. Just then a rumble filled the air. Neither child had noticed, but clouds had been gathering overhead for some time. A puff of wind swept over the dump. Yuck, this smell is terrible, Susan said. I feel like I'm suffocating. I'm getting out of here. She began pedaling and turned the spirit flyer in the air. Wait, John yelled as she pedaled away. I'm going to need help with this stuff. At least carry a few gloves with you. But Susan was already halfway to the front gate. John waved at her to come back. She shook her head. Chicken, John yelled. It's just a little stink. I'm going to be rich. I knew it. I just knew it. This is it. Yeah, how are you going to transport all that shit? This is like Peppers, you know. They buy all kinds of crap, 50 cases of toilet paper, 50 tons of gear, and they have no way to transport it anywhere. There's a dumb kid with no bike, no truck, no car, no nothing. He thinks he's rich. Try transporting it, dumb ass. You need to have somebody to get it out of there. I don't know. The same thing people are doing everywhere all over this country. Being stupid. I can name 2 of them right now. I gotta go buy land. Yeah. Let me know how that works out for you. It's just a little stink. I'm going to be rich. I knew it. I just knew it. This is it. John jumped in the air with glee, but when he came back down, his feet slipped on the dirt and he fell. That's when he saw the shiny black surface underneath the dirt. He sat up and brushed away some dirt just an inch below the surface. He uncovered more of the black, shiny material that looked like black plastic or glass. Then he realized what it was, the black window. John frowned. The black surface below the dirt made him feel uneasy, but as he looked out over all the open and unopened boxes, his fear was replaced by desire. It feels solid enough, John said. He stumped to the ground. The black surface felt as hard as rock. Thunder rumbled in the sky. The clouds above were swirling together in dark patterns. I better hurry, John said. I just can't leave all this stuff out here. But what should I pick up first? He ran to the closed box and slit the tape with a knife. Little plastic action figures fell onto the ground, still in their packages. John smiled and ran to the next box. He yelped with delight when he saw it was model trains and track. The next box held more train stuff. The box after that was full of expensive leather footballs. I'm rich, John shouted, running to rip open the next box. The boy was so excited he forgot everything but his sudden good fortune, but at that moment a loud screeching noise shook the air and earth. The pile of boxes and toys began to shake and tremble. The whole dump seemed to be in the middle of an earthquake. John tried to run but fell down, hitting his nose on the hard, blank surface. He stood up. Through the dust and shaking boxes, he could see more of the black window. It seemed enormous, as big as the pit itself. John staggered to his feet and began running. As soon as he hit the bare dirt, the noise and shaking stopped. John paused, then turned and looked back. Several of the boxes had broken open, spilling toys out everywhere. Susan had watched the whole thing happen with great concern. She quickly turned her spirit flyer around in midair and flew to John's side. What was that? She asked. Before John could speak, the boxes and toys out in the center of the pile moved again. Both their mouths dropped open when they saw the head of a boy rise up in the middle of the toys. A baseball mitt was on the top of his head. He turned around slowly and looked over to the children. Even with a catcher's mitt on his head, there was no mistake. The boy looked just like John Kramer, only you could almost see through him as if he were a ghost. John, Susan whispered. The ghostly John smiled. He lifted the baseball mitt off of his head and looked straight at the real John. We made a deal, the ghostly boy said with a quivering voice. Do you want the toys or don't you? Okay. We made a deal, the ghostly voice said in a quivering voice. Do you want the toys or don't you? So, end of that chapter. So there you go. All right. That thing boom. Gaddy and Ray. Good night.